everyone. Sorry about the last video not having sound. I'm not sure what happened, but here we go. So I know a couple of you have already turned in the assignment for today. If you haven't, that's okay. Again, I apologize for the sound not working. I'm not sure what happened when it went to upload. So today we're going to look at these two passages, and we're going to compare and contrast. And so these two passages are going to be nonfiction. All right, so I'm just going to read both of them to you, and then we're going to talk about them. So over here, how and where hurricanes form. Hurricanes are very powerful storms that are capable of causing severe damage. Some hurricanes produce winds stronger than 155 miles per hour that are able to devastate homes and buildings. Knowing how and where hurricanes form can help keep you safe if a hurricane does strike. Hurricanes form over warm water after the ocean has been heated up during the hot summer months. Because hurricanes need warm water, they occur most often during late summer and early fall. In the Atlantic Ocean, hurricane season is from June to November. Also, since hurricanes need warm water to form, the people that are affected by hurricanes live in areas near the coast. People who don't live near the coast have no reason to worry about staying safe during a hurricane. If you live somewhere that hurricanes might occur, it is important for you to know what to do to protect yourself. Make sure you board up your windows and stay indoors during the storm. Alright, so now let's look at hurricanes, staying safe from destruction. Hurricanes can be very dangerous and deadly storms. When a hurricane moves ashore, it can cause damage in a number of ways. It is important to know how to keep yourself safe during a hurricane. Hurricanes can cause destruction in several ways. For example, wind damage during a hurricane can be harmful. Even though hurricanes occur near coastlines, strong winds can still strike further inland. Also, since hurricanes come with an abundance of rain, they sometimes cause mudslides or flash floods. Everybody should know how to stay safe in case of a hurricane, whether you live in a place that hurricanes are likely to occur or not. First, have a plan of evacuation, a plan to leave the area, and listen to local weather stations for any weather advisories. If you don't have time to evacuate, then find a place that is safe. Make sure your shelter is on high ground, the windows are boarded, and that you stay inside until the hurricane passes. So really, there's something that is similar that we can identify right off the bat between these two passages, is that they are both talking about hurricanes. However, this one on the right is telling us how to stay safe from a hurricane. It's giving us details, telling us what we can do to stay safe, whereas this one on the left is telling us how a hurricane forms and what kind of weather conditions cause a hurricane. So, on the back, we've got some questions, okay? And it wants us, number one, wants us to read through them again and highlight the details that are mentioned in both and list them important ones below. So, I'm going to go through and I'm actually just going to underline with my pen some important details. Okay, so I'm going to start with this left one. I know that they are powerful storms that are capable of causing severe damage. Okay, that's important. Some hurricanes produce winds stronger than 155 miles an hour that are able to devastate homes and buildings. Okay, going down to this next paragraph, knowing how they form, where they form over warm water after the ocean has been heated up during the hot summer months would be important. And it's also important to know that they can occur most often during late summer and early fall. So really those months are June to November. Okay. Going down to our next paragraph. It might be important to know that the people who are most affected are going to live in the areas near the coast. Right? So we are not as likely to have a hurricane as people who live down towards the beach. And our last paragraph, if you live somewhere that hurricanes might occur, is it important for you to know what you do to protect yourself? Make sure you board up your windows and stay indoors during the storm. Alright, so now let's look at this staying safe from destruction. So again, we know that they're going to be deadly and dangerous. And then it can cause damage in a number of ways. It is important to know how to keep yourself safe during a hurricane. So, and then this next paragraph tells us several ways that the hurricane can cause destruction. So I'm going to underline wind damage during a hurricane can be harmful. That would be important. And even though hurricanes occur near coastlines, strong winds can strike further inland. And since hurricanes come with an abundance of rain, they sometimes cause mudslides or flash floods. All right, looking at our last paragraph, everyone should know how to stay safe in case of a hurricane, whether you live in a place where they are likely to occur or not. So we need to first have a plan of evacuation, which is just a plan to leave the area. And we should listen to local weather stations for any weather advisories. And then if you don't have time to evacuate, find a place that is safe. Make sure your shelter is on high ground, the windows are boarded, and that you stay inside until the hurricane passes. So those are going to be some important information. All right, let's look at number 2. It wants us to circle 3 details from how and where hurricanes form that are not in staying safe from destruction. All right, so 3 details. We're going to circle them over here that are not in this passage. So, well, one detail that I've actually already underlined. So to show you, I'm actually going to use a highlighter, and I'm going to highlight my 3 details that are different. We have some winds stronger than 155 miles an hour that are able to devastate homes and buildings. So that's one detail that's not over here in this passage. Another one is that hurricanes occur over warm water after the ocean has been heated up during the hot summer months. That's not over here. And another detail is the time of year that these happen. This staying safe doesn't tell us what time of year these hurricanes happen. So they occur most often during the late summer and early fall, which you could also additionally highlight June through November. All right. Now, out of those 3, which one do you think would be considered the most important? Personally, I think it would be important to know the time of year that these hurricanes are coming. All right, so now it wants us to circle 3 details in hurricanes staying safe from destruction that are not in how and where hurricanes are from. So again, I'm going to use a highlighter to highlight some 3 differences, okay? So I can see one of the things that is different is that wind damage during a hurricane can be harmful. Right over here, we're not talking about wind damage. I see that hurricanes come with an abundance of rain, and they also could cause flash floods or mudslides. All right, and I see another difference is that it tells us that we need to have a plan, an evacuation plan, and to listen to local weather stations for any weather advisories. Alright, so number 4 is asking which passage gives more detail about how to stay safe in a hurricane, and how do we know? So which passage is going to give us more details about how to stay safe during a hurricane? Well, our passage, Hurricane Staying Safe from Destruction, is going to give us more detail about how to stay safe. And I know that because it tells me what damage a hurricane could cause, and it tells me what I need to do to have a plan of evacuation and to listen to weather stations. And it also tells me, like, make sure my shelter is on high ground, the windows are boarded, and that you stay inside until it passes. All right, and our question number 5, which author do you think gave the most useful information? Explain your reasoning. So again, looking at these 2, I want to think about, well, which one gives us the most useful information? And this one, in my opinion, I'm going to say that the Staying Safe from Destruction gives us the more useful information, because while it is important over here to know, like, the wind speeds on a hurricane, and it's also important to know when they occur, I think it's going to be more important to know how to keep myself safe. Alright, so I want to look over your work for today. So this is your work for today, and in this reading you're comparing tropical rainforest and temperate rainforest, okay? So just like ours, you've got some questions over to the side, okay, and then in your boxes you need to fill in the missing ones. up here you're creating a title for this chart. So how would you label this chart? Like when you read a book, our charts have titles. How would you title this chart? Okay, and then for number 2, it's talking about highlight words from the passage that show the author was comparing and contrasting. So those are talking about some keywords. Can you find any keywords in this passage that are going to help you know that the author is comparing and contrasting? All right. So again, I apologize for the sound on the earlier video not working. The sound for tomorrow and the rest of the week should be fixed and ready to go. I hope you have a great rest of your week and a great rest of your day.